Yeah, I remember they followed recently. I remember that name. I was like, that's a funny fucking name.
He has like a Vader tattoo and a Zed tattoo.
That's
Like
fucking sick.
It's cool.
God, I cannot wait to get my Pokemon tattoo done. Alright, so if you'll join me in roll 20 while we get ready here. Would anybody like to give me a general synopsis recap? And I can do I can get into a bit more detail if anything is
You know,
askew.
I think Winter should give us the recap.
Oh my.
Thank you for the hydrated stretch, Gunner. I will get that while Winter is recapping for you.
Of the whole session?
Just
Of the important points that you remember, Mount Claw!
The Spark Note.
Yeah, Spark notes.
Mount Claw.
Howdy.
Boy.
I cried.
Oh.
It's not gonna be. What was the first thing we found? Like the two parties. Like there was like merchants talking to Cape figures. I mean, I'm not gonna be good at recapping. I don't know.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
Okay, so here's what I believe happened. My brain. I got a lot of this stuff written down. We fucking we decided to go back to the cart after talking to the big snake evil bad man.
Yep.
We put you to sleep.
Canonically, I would like just to point out that Art was so mad that he wasn't speaking. That's what I like to say.
That's
I
yeah.
did have you
Yeah, he
march
actually
out
did.
of the hidden wall fuming, essentially, and just going back
Basically.
to the cart. Yeah.
We decided, you know what, we're just gonna take a load off. We went to an inn. We all, I played some music, made some money, and then I bought some potions with it. Then I arm wrestled Winter. What is it called? Winter had experienced trauma, and I beat him in the arm wrestling thanks to inspiration and my guidance. That
They
shit
said
went
double
hard.
the trauma.
Yeah. Then we went to bed. We woke up in the morning. We found. So back in the day, our first little adventure, we had sent those guys from the bridge over to like to head towards Eminence so that they could, you know, repent for their sins. And they had set up a shop in this area. Like they go to and from, and they switch like shifts and whatnot, and they just run this little cart so they can make some money. And what I gathered is he was experimenting on something and turned the clothes into a keeping massive clothing devastation. And that's what I remember. That's at least what I have written down.
That is very close. The only thing I'll point out is the merchant that you talked to at the end of the session that was asking about your help with his notes was it was a separate clothing merchant from the initial party. It was the same general venture, but it was the clothing merchant that you met on your way back to Shatterhold.
Yeah.
The one that you guys invested some money into to send him to Opulence to open up his own shop. It was he was actually asking about you, Art, because you had purchased his Moonsilk vest off of him.
That's right.
He was inquiring if you were around, and he was just wanting to see if that was doing okay. But that pretty much covers a lot of it. The only things I would also point out, since you weren't here, Art, is that in the interaction between the merchants and the cloaked figures were the same ones, not the same ones, but were wearing robes with the same red hand with the eye insignia in the middle that you saw around Shatterhold that stated that they were looking for shards of Voldaris a long time ago, and they seem to be trying to get something from these Abishai, these dragon people that were packing up their merchant cart for the night after dark. We're heading out. They seemed rather shaken up by talking to these individuals. And upon talking to these individuals, there were a couple of visible violent reactions upon the mentions of someone by the name of Benthos in Trent and in the Crab specifically. So neither of them seemed to be a fan of that. The large cloaked figure did walk off with his other couple of associates as well after that. That was when the party came back towards the inn. Oh, yeah, that was when the party came back toward the inn where you would park the cart.
Mm-hmm.
And they stayed the night. There was the arm wrestling match between Trent and Winter. There was reveling. There was drinking. Marge had a Q&A session with the Crab after the Crab seemed to have a violent episode from talking to from mentioning the cloak figure Merge. And after that, Mr. Henson showed up, the human tailor that had sold you that moon silk vest, and he was asking about you because he was curious if the vest was serving you well, and he also seemed to have something bothering him, which the party ended up finding out was some sort of fabric. Like he was trying to hide it, but like underneath gloves and with long sleeves, but I believe it was Winter that spotted it. That there was someone spotted it. That there was not skin, but a sort of like fabric or felt on his arm, and that was growing up the side of his neck as he was trying to talk and ask for help. And he was requesting that if anything were to happen to him, that somebody find his notes in his stall here in the plaza in town, and do with those what they will. And upon getting to that stall to investigate, as Trent mentioned, Trent was checking out the back of the cart. It smelled like rotten meat, essentially. And a lot of the felt puppets that were floating around as familiars were kind of just like, had their black beady eyes kind of just like glaring and watching the party as they snooped around. And the more the gentleman tried to talk about what was going on and request your help, he ended up passing out and frothing at the mouth. And the session ended, I believe, with his arm that appeared to be made entirely of felt at that point extending and wrapping around his neck, and a bubbling, gurgling voice echoing out of his mouth saying, "That is enough, puppet." As the cart exploded open, and the large mass of fabric that was in there in the back was piled up and began forming up into this amalgam, this foul mockery of a humanoid creature, but much larger. And you could see as it was forming that there were bits of sinew and bone that it seemed to have been engulfing as well, that are mixed in with it into a form of a felt golem. And that is where we left off. But for the sake of this, I will say, Art, you wake up, it is a rainy day in Opulence. You're still kind of frustrated from the quite literal dealings with the devil that you were presented with the day before. But kind of just like sleeping in the back of the cart, making sure everything's fine back there. The ogres are babysitting the goblins. Livia and Henry are sitting in the back, just kind of like jotting stuff down. She kind of waves to you as you wake up and like tilt your hat back off your eyes so you can see a little bit. You actually notice something in your pocket is vibrating. Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
I forgot to take the batteries out of that thing.
And reaching into your pocket, look down. It's the pocket watch that was left for you, that was handed to you by Carlisle, by a certain gentleman that you're acquainted with. And,
Yeah, if I pull it out.
as you do, it's not a violent vibration, but it feels like it's humming almost. And you notice that it like it did before when you were in your dream state, in a panic. You watch as the timepiece's face flips over to what appears to be more of a compass, and you see the needle violently pointing in the direction of it's pointing about, I'd say, northeast of where you are right now. And you notice that your party seems to have already gone. Equilibrium seems to be in the back, kind of helping keep track of the goblins and make sure they don't kill each other or eat each other, and making sure that nothing is happening with he's kind of like swapping notes. A lot of his time is spent swapping notes with Livia and jotting down some of his scrolls that he purchased off of the Yanti the day before.
Okay. Gotcha.
But everybody else appears to be gone. You're not quite sure where they went.
I guess I go off in the. You said to the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go off in that direction, I guess.
Okay. With that, bring you guys to the current scene that is going on. Now you guys should be able to see it as well. So you would notice in this plaza there's yeah, I would say actually yeah, or you would not quite be there yet, so I'm gonna take you off for now. But what the rest of the party would see at this point would be, as this large mass of felt and fabric and meat is forming and trying to make some semblance of a humanoid, which is the large being up here. You see the body that was riding on the ground and had the arm choking the life out of it, essentially pull itself up as though a hand is grabbing the shoulders and like pulling it into the air. And you watch as it looks like the arm, like the left arm that is attached to the man, is, while still around his neck, isn't as taut now, but it's as though it is holding him up and moving him at this point. And you see his eyes kind of like glaze over, and I believe we've been over this. I don't believe anybody speaks Abyssal.
Nope.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I don't have anything for it either.
You would just hear essentially him speaking in tongues in a very guttural Ole Corvas Calvan. And you see he takes a very small tool, a little for those familiar with tailoring, a seam ripper that you can use to remove seams from little pieces. And you watch it grow into the size of a short sword, maintaining the like forked edge at the bottom of it. And you see, as he mutters these words, you hear screaming around you. As you look around, you see any of the young children that were carrying stuffed animals. You watch as they begin to scream and run off and drop the animals. And all of them kind of shift in form and twist and contort into these small imps and demons around you. And as the screaming kicks in, you actually watch Marge, you like bringing up the rear there, you would turn to actually see an imp starts chasing a child. And before you can even move to act, you just see a rock fly in from the side and ping the imp in the side of the head and kind of knock it over onto the ground. And you watch as goblins, your goblins, have begun charging and filling the plaza as well.
Wow.
To intercept what is going on right now, as they were curious. It appears some of them were curious and followed you and had been kind of tailing you at a shadow's length.
Shame some friendly fire happened.
Oh no. But it seems currently chaos is breaking out in the middle of this plaza, and we are going to go ahead and have you guys roll initiative.
Pandemonium out here in WrestleMania.
It really is Puppet Mania.
Mount.
You want me to also roll? initiative?
If you
or-
would, please, yes.
Okay.
I need to quick make sure everybody has control of their tokens.
Not wrong. I could move mine.
Yeah.
I attack. Yep, I can move mine.
Cool. Okay. I will say, you guys can feel free to, now that you can move, you four, apparently, can feel free to place yourself anywhere in, I would say, like, this space in the plaza, as you were thrown back from the cart by the, force of the explosion. So I will allow you to position yourselves within that area as you wish.
So, like, would right here be okay?
Yeah, that would be perfectly fine.
Oh, that's the white box.
Where is turn order? There it is. There we go. All right. Sorry. Still getting used to the new interface, or the updated interface.
Oh, initiative.
Yeesh.
That is Dex. Right.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to just go through in the list that I have these set up here. Marge, what is your initiative?
17.
Big 17. Winter,
7.
big 7. Ragnar,
I rolled like ass. 13. I guess that's better than.
big ass, perfect. Warrior King Trent,
I got a 6.
let's go. All right. And Art,
12.
oh, gotcha.
Well,
Beautiful.
That's a good old 12 there.
I missed art.
I'm gonna go ahead and just like drag you off to the side over here just so I can have your token on board.
The goat himself.
All right. Why did all of those clear? Okay. Archer's was 17, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know why these cleared, sorry. Winter's was 6, Ragnar's was
I was
13,
7.
I believe. 7, sorry, I do have 7 down.
How dare.
And Trent was 6, that's what it was. I'm gonna get initiatives for these little guys because they got some different stats, so it might matter. Not that. Boop. Okay. Say 5 boys. A big lad. Oh, all right. Team for the big man. The other little guys. Okay. And Mr. Henson. $11 as well. Alright. We get sorted. Boom. Alright. So I will say at initiative count 20 is roughly where a lot of the creatures begin forming around the plaza before anyone is truly able to react to it. Except for the goblins that also come and intercept some of them that are on the outer edges. It seems like they're mostly dealing with and tying up a lot of the stuff outside of the main central area. But other than that, starting off, we have the large meat and felt golem that has made itself clear.
Yarny from the hit game Unraveled 2.
Yarny wishes he was the swole.
It's like it's like if Yarny ate 3 other Yarnies.
All right. So what it is going to do is it is only going to take... You just hear shambling and gurgling noises from it as it takes a single step forward, actually nearly pushing Henson's form out of the way, not seeming to care that he's there. And it is going to send out... Let me make sure on this real quick. Mechanically. New monster, who this? Yeah. Is going to... make attack rolls at 3 of you.
What?
Yep.
That's cheating.
2 minutes?
You watch as these bolts of fabric begin, like... It seems to be very round around the midsection in its current state, but you watch as it takes a step forward, nearly, like, shoving Henson out of the way. Kind of, like, lurches backward. Then when it shoots forward, it holds both arms out, and 3 large bolts of fabric go out, and it's like, it's almost unwinding around its center of mass as this is happening, as though it's using some of its body to extend in your direction. And it is going to make attack rolls at Ragnar, Winter, and Trent.
Let's go.
So I'm going to go in that order. Ragnar, Winter, then Trent.
Hide behind a crab leg.
So, I believe I have exploding dice on, but I don't think they hit for anything there, or mattered for anything there.
Do you have a player? What does exploding dice mean?
It's a mechanic for a different game. I don't know exactly what it does, to be quite honest. But it does.
Yeah,
not
I've always
affect
wanted that
anything
myself. I knew it's for a different system. I just don't
here. Yeah,
know.
that's not on here. Good. Alright, so anyway. Ragnar, 22, I believe that hits.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. Yes, of course.
Fair enough. Alright. Winter, 21.
Yep.
And Trent, 9. It's a big 2.
9 misses.
Okay. Alright, upon these bolts of fabric wrapping around the 2 large lads, you're only going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage from this as they wrap around you.
To both of us.
Wait, so does Marjorie have the crab?
I believe March
Do I
has the
have
crab.
the crab? Yeah, we were with each other. Yeah.
Mhm.
If I'm there, if he's there, I'm there because I was with him. at the
Yeah,
end of the last
I always
session.
just assume he's with the homies.
I was making sure because I thought in the last session something happened to the crab.
He did, but he was just tired, so we went and rested.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you right.
And I will need both of you to make strength saving throws, please. DC is 15.
Bam.
Well, if there were any 2 people to do the strength saving throw.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, mine's ridiculous.
Winter, you're good?
Wait. Doesn't Danger Sense give me something?
That's
This is a
advantage on
dex.
dexterity-based saving throws that you
Okay.
can see.
Look at me remembering mechanics.
You are.
I mean, I'm
Very
just,
good.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
16 is good enough. DC was 15. You feel the bolts begin wrapping around you and trying to grapple you and hold you in place. And you actually feel them begin to pull at you as though it's trying to drag you in. Winter, you immediately, like, get a grip and realize, like, for one of the few times in this campaign, you use your brain for a moment, you think, this is really thin fabric. And you just kind of, like, as you're drawing your weapon amidst all of this, you draw it and kind of drag it up, and it cuts straight through. It seems that the fiber itself is weak to slashing damage. And you manage to cut yourself free. And Ragnar, you don't catch on quite as quick, and it starts to drag you, and you feel your feet sliding, and you eventually just grab it and tear it to pieces. Like, literally shred ribbons into more ribbons. And that is all it is going to do for its turn. Next up, we have Marjorie.
The Marge.
Marge.
Okay. Well,
For the sake of this, I will say, immediate threats to the party appear to be most of the enemy creature tokens that you can see that are within the two canals and the plaza in the center. Including this imp here and this creature on the bridge here. Everything else in the center appears to be an immediate threat. It seems like the goblins are doing their best to take care of the rest at the moment.
Oh, those are goblins?
These little guys, yeah.
They're so ugly. We don't need those.
Little goobers.
Little gooby goobers.
But I figured that'll be easier for the sake of...
What are... I know what the imps are. What are the bigger ones? The medium
Ogres.
size.
Oh, the bad guys?
19.
You can give me a history on Arcana check if you'd like.
Oh, okay. You just won't tell me?
No.
Wow.
Imps are
We can
fairly
play.
common. These are a little more... They're kind of lizard-like in nature. Little, like, horns and spines sticking off the back of their head.
Okay.
Still fairly small, but... little larger than imps. The 14? Yeah, you would recognize these. Similar to imps, but not as keen on using poisoning as a form of offense. These are quasits, is what they are called. They're known for more underhanded tactics.
Okay. All right. You ready?
I am ready.
We are going to. I need a square. Can you put a square around your big guy here?
I certainly can. How large of a square would you like?
It needs to be 100. It says a 20-foot square.
20-foot
20
square.
foot. Sorry, 20-foot cube. Centered
Cube.
on. Yeah, centered like right
Fine.
here. Yeah,
10, 15.
right. This is an
20.
enemy, right? Just so I can.
Yes, that is the body of Mr. Henson that seems to be currently being controlled or puppeted in some way.
Can you hit me?
It is
Alright.
lost
Can you
control.
move that over?
Is that
to
roughly where
the-
you'd like it?
A little more. Can
more
you like
up?
get this
Like up
dude in
here?
it?
Are you trying to hit like everything here?
Trying to hit all three of those. No.
You like it?
Looks like it would come to one or the other.
That's fine. We'll do. We're doing more towards the big guys where we want it.
Or toward the big guy?
It's an
Or-
it's an erupting earth.
Okay. Would you like me to leave it there? Is that good?
That's perfectly fine. Yeah, as long as
Okay.
that hits the big guy.
It does.
Okay. He has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
And I'll roll up the damage.
What's the DC?
Please do. Yes, what is the DC? What's your spell sheet now?
Damn.
If it's Earth to me, it's like a 16. Okay, there you go.
16? Okay. So the golem does pass.
Okay.
Okay, so they both pass.
Yeah, of course they do. So they'll take half that. They'll do 11.
So 11 points of bludgeoning
Yeah.
damage, correct?
Yeah, and actually, if it's okay,
Magical.
can we move
Okay.
that? Can we move that more so that it's more centered on the big guy?
That's fine. Yeah. You want to like
That'd be
right on him,
preferable.
like right there?
Yeah, more or less like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that turns all that stuff around him as difficult terrain. So. And then I want to move back here. And I think that's all we're doing.
Okay.
Can I, like, as a bonus action, ask the little crabs, the little crab dudes, just to, like, prepare them?
As in,
We
like,
might need 'em.
like
Just
priming
kinda
your
make sure-
bots?
Yeah, those. Yeah, just to make sure that they're ready to do something at like an action next turn if I have to or whatever.
Yeah, I would allow that.
Then otherwise, that's all. That's all I want to do. I just want to make sure they're ready just in case. Marge will have the 3 crabs on her shoulders.
Love it. All right, we go to Ragnar. Ragnar, it's
Yo.
pandemonium out here in Opulence Plaza.
I am gonna rage.
Ragnar does the thing. Barbarian said the thing.
I'm gonna rage and go for the nearest big guy. What is this? What is the aqua box again?
That is just difficult terrain. You would have enough movement to get into it,
Okay.
for sure.
Well, yeah, it doesn't need to be difficult. I don't care if it's difficult if I'm just gonna kick the shit out of him when I'm there.
Let's go.
Let's see. He's not locked in here with me. Or I'm not locked in the winter. He's locked in here with me.
Perfect.
Generate.
And I will say,
Yeah,
I
my
guess this
mall's
is.
broken. Does that affect?
Are you using your maul?
I was gonna whack it. I guess I was gonna whack it with my hands now, since I don't have the maul anymore.
That is up to you. You still have the pieces of the maul. It's snapped in half, but you also have access to like stronger unarmed strikes as well. Not stronger than your maul necessarily, but just like it is up to you what Ragnar would be doing. You feel your blood boiling, and you feel pain and hunger.
Give him an axe.
Also, that's what I was going to say. Sorry, as a point of order, real quick. It seemed like when the bolt attacks went out from it, the center of it unraveled, and as it did unravel, it showed a almost like a wooden, very large spool in the center that was formed from forms of like wood, sinew, bone. But it seemed like that area was exposed while it was doing that. But now that those have not landed or not connected, it is all raveled back up into the center.
I suppose I'm gonna, hit it twice with my fists.
Aye, aye.
Flashback to the monkey hits.
Which my fist, what did we decide on my fist damage being?
I believe it was a D8 for attack. Let me check real quick. But I think there's a bonus to it. It is, okay, so it'll be the same, accuracy as your maul. But it will be, a D4 for the strike, and then a D8 of necrotic damage.
A D4 plus D8, or a D4 and a D8 of necrotic.
Yep, so a D4 bludgeoning, a D8 necrotic, and then plus 8 to your total because of your strength and rage. I wrote out the equation just for the sake of this, thank God.
So 1d7.
You never know when you need your barbarian equation.
That's right, your barbarian math. Was elected to lead, not to read. 25 definitely hits. D4 plus a D8 plus 8. Big 4.
I'm gonna do that again.
Right, so that's 17 points of damage. Gotcha.
Because I have a second attack. And also, this is the first creature I hit So my ancestral protectors um, give this thing disadvantage on attack rolls that are not against me.
Let's go.
Um,
Yeah, show me that second attack.
yeah. That's an 11 hit.
An 11 does not hit. As you
Okay.
you feel solid purchase as like the first strike, kind of like it's the trope of like the fist sinking in, and then you see the shockwave like rattling something in the middle. The next hit
Oh,
is a
yeah,
bit
yeah.
more wild and kind of like goes off to the side of the stomach area a little bit, and you feel like you don't quite find as much purchase as it's just kind of thick masses of meat felt. Kind of just gurgles and spits up a little bit in your general direction.
Go. Is that all you've got?
The most you get out of it is some form of gurgle growl, and it seems to be just drooling bile out of various orifices that aren't fully shored up in its form.
Eat him.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
That is all.
Understood. I will say, next we come to Art. Art, you can enter the battlefield from any of the, I would say, directly from the south or southwest, like the southwest corner behind the bridge, if you would like.
Look at that southwest corner.
The southwest corner? Alright. Give you control of your character. Okay. There you go. Southwest corner, I'll drag you right down there. And I'll let you, I could say you put yourself anywhere up to, like, if you're coming in from the southwest corner, you could basically be right up on this guy if you'd want to. Like, that's about as far as you could have gotten to from this point. But you do feel that, that compass in your pocket humming in the direction of the large creature, as a
A
matter
large
of fact.
creature? Gotcha. Well,
But there are
if that's the case-
several things scattered about at the moment. It's kind of pandemonium.
if that's the case, what is this right here? Is this?
That is an imp that appears to be currently squabbling with a goblin. You see the
Okay.
goblin's actually kind of like jumped on it and is like pulling at the wings, but isn't doing a lot of damage. It seems like it's more just got it locked down at the moment. It's kind of just biting at it.
If that's the case, then I am just gonna shoot the big guy from
Taking a
downtown.
taking a shot at the big guy. Understood. Go ahead and give me an attack roll then, Chief.
And if I could, I would like to use 6-8 to give myself a help action on that first attack.
And 6-8 comes out, gets a nice view of it, and the same like kind of like scan runs across your eyes for a second with that arcane glint.
Oh, before I do that, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I would also like to use bonus action arcane weapon, and
Yep,
then like
okay.
you see Art's pistol kind of like the flowers that are etched into it kind of glow a reddish color, and I'm choosing fire damage to add on
Okay.
to that. And I'm gonna take a shot at this guy.
Gotcha, go for it.
Holy!
Oh my! That is the saddest
I had-
elven accuracy I've ever seen. I'm so sorry.
That's unbelievable.
Oh. An 8 is the best out of those, and that does not
And
connect. And
This is
Ragnar, you
all
see a
because-
shot just whiz right by your ear.
It's all because I didn't go first and didn't get the bless off on the homies.
There it is.
Like,
Why would Trent do this? No,
Why would I not put the bless on the dudes?
I will say, for the sake of thematics, the rain is like coming down at this point. It's not super heavy rain, but like it's kind of a case of like you getting here and seeing all of this and seeing Ragnar up on this thing. This is kind of just a first case of like, all right, 6-8, I really need you to give me some eyes here. Go to take a shot, and you don't realize like some water has actually slipped into your holster a little bit from sleeping with it, just like barely exposed to the rain.
Yep.
And slips just enough to make the shot whiz past Ragnar and just kind of ping off of this thing.
Well, I take my pistol, I kind of like shake it out a couple times, and then I pull it up and take another shot.
Yep, go for it.
I'm not doing +4. Though, by the way, that is not a +4. It's like a plus.
Should be +7 now if you have dexterity, correct?
It's a +10.
And then
Here,
I was gonna say I know it's more, like
Wait. What is it? What is our
depending
Our
on
bo-
infusions as well.
what is our proficiency bonus right now? Is it still 3?
It's 3 at
Yeah,
the
it's still
moment.
3.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's +10 right now. So regardless, it's still 14. I assume that still misses, but
It'd be a 14. The 14 does just miss. Oh.
those are the worst rolls I've ever had in my. Okay, that's my turn. Well, awesome.
The law of averages. Your next turn is going to be at least 2 crits. All right.
At
Fat
least.
fire.
All right, guys, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go back to sleep. It's gonna be good.
Would you like to move at all? It's up to you.
No, I'm good.
Okay. And Ragnar, you just hear 2 shots whiz by your ears, almost connecting with like you, and you see like one of the bullets like clip and singe one of its arms a little bit. And while it doesn't hurt it, you do notice that it kind of like looks down at the spot and goes and like starts to like pat at the spot where it's smoking just a little bit. Next we come to
And then you hear in the deep distant back, you just hear, God damn it.
Dagnabbit, no.
Oh, perfect. All right. Next we come to Mr. Henson and his current not doing the best, not living his best life state. The arm is still one of his arms that is just made of puppet material is just wrapped around his throat and like hoisting him into the air, it seems like. But the difficult terrain does still take effect. But he begins to simply he's going to take 10 to get out of here. Then actually yeah, he will probably just stay right there. And looking forward, he sees he wouldn't be able to see art through this little stand right here, probably. At least not as well with the rain. Which this is just a little souvenir stand. They just have little junk and trinkets, and you actually saw, like, you didn't get the best look, but you saw a couple of merchants dive for cover behind the counter when this started. And he is going to take, he's going to raise up one of his hands. There's going to be this weird, like, soupy black bile that kind of, like, coalesces in front of his hand. He's going to fire off 2 bolts of energy, one at Winter and one at Trent.
Man. Have at thee.
So, Winter and Trent. A 25 and a 19.
19 misses.
19 misses, get fucked.
No. That's actually fuck. I got
Yeah.
an AC of 16.
Yep.
Actually, wait. It's a +1 from that weird potion thing that I got, right?
Yeah. Should be a +1
Yeah,
to whatever your
yeah,
base was.
Should be a 17, but I still get hit by a 19.
Understandable. Alright, so you are each going to take, we'll do these one at a time. Winter is going to take 13 points of force damage. Trent is going to take 6 points of force damage as these 2 very... It looks like coagulated liquid flesh is being fired at you as these 2 Eldritch Blasts make contact. 1 for each of you.
Would have just been 3 damage if I put my fucking goddamn thing on, but no. Dan didn't fucking do Inspiring Leader.
Imagine building a buff for your homies character and he's not buffing the homies.
Yeah, I'm not buffing the homie.
What the fuck happened?
It's like the classic
Where
Ranger
did we go
blunder of,
wrong?
man, I should have Hunter's marked at the beginning of my turn and not at the end of my turn. Every single time.
Yeah, our barbarians forgetting to rage.
Yeah. It'd be like
that
that
happen?
sometimes. It happens. Barbarian. I just assume barbarians are always raging.
Yes.
Yeah, no. You
The
see, he's
dignified ones aren't.
actually, for the sake of flavor, he's got that seam ripper sword in one hand. It's actually the hand strangling him, It's like lifting him up above his head. The hand is actually free at the top, and that's the one that took the 2 shots at you, as almost like a periscope above his head. And next up, we are going to go to the closets, the little lizard guys. Is going to step up to... Actually, 5, 10... 5, yeah. Oh, it's going to step up to here, right in front of this boy. And Trent, I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Ooh, well, joke's on you.
We don't have any of that.
I'm going to go ahead and move all
yeah,
of
get
them
'em.
just so I don't have to worry about this.
I only get a +2 to that, so
It's on him.
fucking 7.
7. Okay. You see this creature come up and shriek in your direction, and your focus is pulled from the man that just shot you to this tiny creature, or to this, like, small horned lizard-like creature. And that shriek echoes into your head, and you hear screaming in your head that you're not used to, as you are now frightened of this creature.
Pain.
Joke's on him. He already was frightened.
I was scared at the start.
You can't frighten me because I'm always frightened.
I wear brown pants for a reason. And it is going to be the other 2 are going to come up from the spots that they were at. Try to maintain a little bit of their distance, and they are going to... I'm going to ask for the same saves from Ragnar and Marge. Marge? Marge with the 16
Oh, shit.
saves.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
you are
does it say
fine.
Strength safe.
Wisdom.
Oh, that's my worst kind of save. Make sure my save stats. Oh no, it's fine. Oh, also make sure he's rolling disadvantage on people that aren't me.
The big guy? Yes, absolutely.
Yep. Okay. What the
And
fuck?
please,
Oh, I
and
did-
please do catch me if I do like forget that when it comes back to the big guy's turn, because that is 16 with a -2, 14. That's still plenty. You also just shrug it off as you're too focused on just being pissed at this thing and the pain and hunger that is consuming you in this moment to give a shit about this little pissant trying to scare you. And that is going to do it for them. It is all they can do this turn. We come to Winter.
Oh yeah, I'm in this combat. So we can get
Sure
the shit
are.
kicked out of me. Which one succeeded frightening? This one?
Yes, this one succeeded on frightening Trent.
Now, what is
And you
that?
would
Is that
see-
like something they cast, or they're concentrating? I don't know what it
It is.
is. Diva.
I
It
would say-
depends.
Yeah, you're not entirely certain, but for the sake of this, I can genuinely tell you, like, it is not a spell, because I know that affects some of your stuff.
Yeah. So I just want to be like, if I run up and punch him, would it stop it? But,
You don't know.
well,
Wouldn't
either
hurt.
way, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, go for it. Give me the attack roll.
Oh, well, fucking slash it. Hang on. Also, can you like? I mean, I guess you could just say real quick what the fire potion does again. That I have. Isn't it like a breath of fire or something?
Yes, I believe I have it in the unique items channel, and if I do not, that is on me. Let me check real quick. Yes. Dragon Fruit Scorching Ray Potion from Raya's Regal Rest. We got, upon consumption, this red beverage with flames dancing along its surface allows the user to expel a breath weapon dealing 4d6 fire damage in a 15-foot cone as an action once before the next long rest. So it would be a bonus action to drink it and an action to use that before your next long rest.
Alright, never mind. I want to do that. That's cool.
You want to do that? Sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna like move up here.
Okay.
I would realistically be able to hit both of these, I think, if I aimed it. Or I mean, if I need to go here, I guess I could, but
Yeah, I mean, also God, I just want to use this now that I actually have access to this. But yeah, no, if you were to fire it like this way,
Yeah.
like 15-foot cone to be like right here, like you'd be able to clip both of them for sure without hitting
doing
Ragnar.
I drink it, I breathe it.
All right, and you feel your chest just swell with this warmth that you're not used to in your usual state. It's kind of refreshing. It's kind of nice, and you wish you could hold on to it for a bit longer, but the situation you're in, you feel it immediately start coming back up, your body almost rejecting it. You feel like you're gonna vomit as you just whoosh, unleash this gout of flame in front of you. Go ahead and roll me 4d6 fire damage. It's gonna be a dex save for each of these guys.
Is that one roll for both?
One roll for damage, yeah.
Okay.
Because it is a single source of damage. So dex save for the closet. Natural one. I consider natural ones on saving throws as essentially getting hit by a critical hit. So.
Fuck that guy.
Yep. And then the golem. I don't know why that rolled twice, but it hit the same thing. A 13 dex save. I will say, Winter, what is your constitution? Base it off of that.
It is 15.
Okay. Six, I don't think I set a DC on it. I did not. Okay. So, 15. It's a +2. Math real quick. Okay. So, both of them are going to take full damage. The one in front of you, like, looking at Ragnar still, kind of got blindsided and wasn't quite ready. And it's kind of like catching the full volley of buckshot as it's standing so close to the source, as it just gets evaporated in front of you. There is nothing left but ash that is just like getting washed away in the rain right now. That one is destroyed. The big one is focused on not really anything. It looks like it's more focused on just holding itself together. It looks like it should not be allowed to exist in its current state. And you see it like rearing back like it's about to try to like swing at Ragnar, watching its like the ancestral guardians kind of like swirl around him. And as this hits it, it like burns into the left arm as it's rearing back to swing, and you hear as it actually catches on the sides of it. And it seems to be very upset about being hit with fire. It is going to take double damage.
That's what I figured.
So yeah, that's going to be
Control
30
fat.
points of fire damage.
Winter will just burp up a little flame like, oh, we gotta get more of those. I actually have another breath potion too, but different.
All right. That would be your bonus and action, and a little bit of your movement. You have roughly
I have
15. You have
40
about 15 feet of movement. You have 40 feet of movement?
no, I will just total.
Oh, gotcha.
I'll just move back. To the boys.
Should have been like, yes.
I'll just do like be right back. Run up, breathe fire. All right.
Hey guys.
Good. That's it.
All right. So next we come to Warrior King Trent.
All right. So
You are frightened currently of the tiny creature.
I got
or the
I got
little lizard man.
something neat little wombo combo with Marty.
Okay. Okay.
So like Marty's thing is like making difficult terrain. So I'm going to do a thing to make that even more difficult for them. Like Trent sees this little fucking thing, scares the shit out of him. His eyes kind of dilate, and he like holds his loot like very tightly to his chest. And if you've ever watched Naruto, like the shadow paralysis like jutsu, you know, like the fucking little black line that kind of appears on the ground, just kind of like rapidly like around him, like this like black spider web just kind of expands, and centered on himself in a 40-foot cube. I'm gonna cast slow.
Oh shit.
with
Now,
that.
does slow affect everything in its radius, or is it creatures you choose?
It's 6 creatures in the radius.
Gotcha. So you
Pretty,
choose the targets. Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
pretty much everything, I think. Well, at
what was
least
the
40.
size? You said it was a cube.
It's a 40-foot cube, yeah.
What damn?
Okay. So
Everything.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35, 40. So it is roughly this size. Where would you like to... Oh, didn't mean to move that guy.
Preferably centered on Trent.
Centered on Trent. So roughly there? Or like here?
Maybe just a little higher, so it gets big guy
Higher?
as well.
About
Yeah, 'cause
there then?
I want to hit the 4 dudes that are like right next to us, like for sure. If I can.
So you're going for like the 3 up here and the guy behind it?
Yeah.
I would say the guy behind would be like, though it looks like his token is clipping into it, I'd say he's just out of the range of it.
Okay, well I'll hit those 3.
Okay. Sounds good.
Uh,
And that is what kind of save?
They make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
The DC is 16.
Understood. This is for Henson.
What
Fails.
is slow?
This will be for the closet. Also even.
Pain.
Meets it, beats it. So he is not slowed. And then the goal. Also even. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Alright. So,
If you'd allow it, I'd like to cutting words that closets save.
okay. Yeah.
We should.
Forgot you do that with saving throws, but yeah, absolutely.
It's
How do
a
you flavor your,
D8 that I need to-
Give me the spice on your cutting words, Chief.
Yeah, so -6, so fuck that guy.
Yeah, he fails. He absolutely fails now.
The spider web that kind of just like emanated from Trent. At first it just looks like it like encased, like enwebbed the little guy's feet, and he started to like he started to like step out of it or like break it a little bit, but then they like slowly turned into hands and they started grabbing onto him and just kind of holding him down.
Hmm. And, if you'll allow, if I may also chip in.
Yeah.
You guys would see the same, like, gray energy. Winter, it's, way more intense than the gray energy you saw, like, around his hand when he was arm wrestling. You know what you saw. You can only imagine what this creature is seeing if it's, like, being amplified to this level. And you actually see, Trent's eyes do glaze over for just a moment, and like you do see Trent afraid, and then like the muscles stop shaking for a brief moment while he's doing this, and you just hear, "Snap out of it, kid, or I'll show you fear."
That's
And
hot.
you see the closet, like you see Trent begin trembling a little bit again, but like a little bit less, and you see the closet just getting bogged down by these hands and webs pulling it down toward the ground. Anything else you would like to do, King?
Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna use my bonus action because I'm gonna move here. I'm gonna use my bonus action, and I'm gonna inspire my man's down here, Art.
All right.
And then,
Appreciate it. I'm pretty down on myself right now.
so those 3 creatures will have their speed is halved.
Yep.
They take a -2 penalty to their AC and dexterity saving throws, and it can't use their reactions.
Yep, and they get like an action or a bonus action, right?
Yeah, it can use either an action or a bonus action, not both, regardless of the creature's abilities or magic items. It can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn. If the creature attempts to cast a spell with a casting time of 1 action, roll a d20. On an 11 or higher, the spell doesn't take effect until the creature's next turn, and the creature must use its actions on that turn to complete the spell. If it can't, the spell is wasted. A creature affected by this spell makes another wisdom saving throw at the end of its turn. On a successful save, the effect ends.
Okay. What was the DC for casting a spell? If you could run that by me real quick.
11 or higher.
11 or higher? Okay, thank you. Just trying to write down the effects and keep track of all of the conditions that we have going on right now.
Dude,
And I've
fucking
just
slow is loaded.
Slow is huge, but it does take your concentration.
Yeah.
All right, got that. Nothing else you wanted to do, correct?
Yeah, that's
Making
it.
sure. Okay. Next we come to the imps, and these little bastards are going to. This one is going to zoom 5, 10, 15, 20. It's flying, so it's not affected by the difficult terrain, but it still had plenty of movement either way. That one is going to fly up to there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Up to winter. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Straight to merge. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 to Trent. Also, not gonna lie, I forgot this Quaz on the bridge, so that's my bad. I'm gonna say that he moved up to... I'm gonna say that he just took a step up to Art at that point in time, and, like, was too startled by the gunshots to do anything. He was not prepared. So, we'll go with that, because that's my B. So we are going to have... I'm just gonna go in order here. The attack on Ragnar.
It's my favorite anime. What's up?
Attack on Ragnar. Oh, shit. Say +5. Does a 17 hit?
Sure does.
Okay. So you are going to take... Actually, we're going to do all the attack rolls first, and then we'll do damages and saves, because there are saves for this. So, Ragnar is hit. This one is going to Winter. Winter does a 13 hit.
No.
Okay. Goes to sting you with the little scorpion tail that it has on its butt. Just ping. Bounces off the armor. Wasn't expecting such a thick boy. This one's going for Merge.
Merge.
Natural
Oh, yeah,
1.
no.
How do you dodge and make this thing look stupid?
Oh, bro, as it goes for a hit, the crab just kind of like flips it,
You're
like
rotating,
almost
idiot.
like fucking like uses his claw to grab a hold of its body and just kind of like moves around.
And we'll say it actually does drop from flying at that, from being thrown off balance. It's kind of just like picking itself up off the ground now. And the last one's for Trent.
What? I'm sorry.
There is an imp trying to sting you in the butt right now.
Oh, no, not my butt.
10 does not hit, correct?
No.
Okay. So you're not even ready for it, and you hear it at the last second and kind of duck. Like, just already paranoid and afraid right now. You duck, and it just glances off to the side, and now you realize that you have an imp harrying you from behind as well. That is all they can do. Ragnar was the only one that got hit, so that is going to be a d4 damage. D4 plus 3. Be 7 points of piercing damage, reduced to half because you're raging. So with us rounding up, that is 4 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. I'm decent at those. Let's do it.
Okay. I'm not sure about your vampiric nature. Does it affect anything to deal with poison? You're fine anyway.
Okay, good
Yeah.
chat, if you will.
Actually, just completely shrugs it off, and you actually see, like, the tail is, like, kind of stuck in you for a moment, and it's kind of, like, getting thrashed around with you, like, by the tail as it's trying to pull its tail out, as you just simply do not care. But you are still going to take half of this. So 6 points of poison damage as well, as it injects poison from the tail into you. But you are not affected by the poison condition. So that was 4 points of piercing, 6 points of poison. Alright, I believe that is it for their turn. And at initiative count 20, Art, you would hear it first as, or rather you would see it first as a shadow, a very large shadow, like, coasts over your head. And it's concerning at the speed that it's moving. And you kind of like look up and you just see a heavy stone park bench flying overhead.
No.
Huh. I look behind me to see what threw it. I
You
just
see New standing there in his tatters, approaching from behind at a rapid pace.
Yeah. Let's go.
is he. I get out of his way.
That does actually just connect too. And Ragnar, you're like, you're about to go for another round with this thing, and you watch it's just a heavy stone park bench with like metal, very ornate by the way. It looks like this was very expensive to make. Like gold trim adorning the edges of it, just shatters over the what is like considered like the shoulder blade area of this thing, or like I guess the like the collarbone section of this thing. It just crumbles against it, and it is going to take a bit of damage here. All right, it's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Every bit helps.
Would have been no points of bludgeoning damage if I just fucking.
I was gonna say Ragnar didn't take any. No, the golem took the damage that time.
Okay, fuck.
You're good.
I'm like so pissed off at myself for that. You have no idea.
Yeah, no, you guys watch as you just hear, I couldn't sit idly by, I apologize. And New is going to make his way up. God, he would only, if you're stepping out of the way, I won't make him like make a check for it, but he's going to be down here as well. And he is going to get up to, I'd say, about here, actually pushing this back a space. As that Quasit is very quickly realizing that he is in a bad position.
Nice fun.
Alright, and with that, we go to the golem's turn. The golem is slowed. So, and it has disadvantage if it attacks anything but Ragnar.
Widowy.
Widowy?
Widowy. Widowy swammed.
So yeah, it only gets one attack per turn. This thing is angry at this point. It has been burnt. It just had a park bench thrown at it. It's gonna full send. You watch as it raises like both of its arm-like extremities up above its head, and a lot of the fabric that was around its waist and like abdomen just bulge up into its chest and arms. And it is going to essentially just make a large enough slam around it to damage everything within 5 feet of it, which would be Ragnar and the imp. And I will need a dexterity saving throw from you, Ragnar, which you would have advantage on because of your danger sense that you mentioned earlier.
Hell yeah, brother.
Let's go.
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
So that's 9. Plus 1 would have been 9.
A 9, that does not save. But, just in your stupor and with all this stuff happening, it brings its arms down and just the terrain around it is already crushed from the erupting earth that Marge dropped earlier for the difficult terrain. This just creates a crater around it from the terrain already being weakened, and you're essentially sunk into a smaller pit now as it crumbles the ground for 25 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 13 because of your rage.
Okay, so 13. Got it. Hold on 1 sec. Cool. Okay. Ragnar brings out his Walkman and puts on Helldiver's radio.
Perfect. Ragnar 0. This imp is obliterated. There was no chance.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z character when they get hit by a beam and they just turn into a sketch and then disintegrate.
Yeah, just slowly vaporize.
I bitch squeal.
Yeah, no, you can see it out of the corner of your eye. It's not your focus for sure, but as like the stinger kind of snaps off in your arm and it screes in pain and falls to the ground, it looks at you angrily, goes to get up, and as it gets up, the arm just crushes it back down into the pavement. And you are essentially, like I said, now this is difficult terrain, but now it is more of a crater than just crumbled stone. And you are down there with him now. I will say you're actually a good 5 feet into the ground now. But that is all he can do. So that is going to be his turn. Next we come to Marge.
What's going on down here real quick, just so I can...
Down here. New has entered the scene after throwing a park bench at the golem.
Gotcha.
And is currently pushing he's making his way uptown across that bridge. And Art is behind him
we're good.
currently.
We're good then. Yeah, I just want to make sure that... Alright, well then I am just going... I really don't give a shit if this imp gives a chance to hit me, but we're gonna just bonus action Misty Step. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30.
Okay. Right next to the light post.
Yeah, and we're going to... So, we'll Misty Step over there, and you'll see the crab kind of extend out and grab a hold of the light post. I don't know how much weight it can handle, but he kind of leans on, use it to lean.
It's pretty sturdy.
You'll see the water behind him begin to rise very high, and he kind of just braces us for the tidal wave that he's bringing on into the golem in this area. So it's 30 foot long, up to 10 foot wide, and up to 10 feet tall. And I think we're just going to pretty much slam it as a line right across the middle.
So you said how wide?
It's 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall, and 30 foot long.
Okay. I would say being able to center the casting point further up here, you would be able to get an angle where you could get these three and still spare Ragnar, just because this creature is larger.
I was kind of hoping, but if not, Ragnar was going to have to fucking get over it. Because he technically would have been alright.
You would be able to.
It's Ragnar.
You would be able to if that is what you wish to do. If you want to hit Ragnar, that's your choice.
No. We don't want to hit Ragnar.
There's nowhere I want to be on the battlefield less than where Ragnar is.
No, what are you talking about? He's doing that's where he's in his element. But
you have to take another dexterity saving throw for them.
You said strength, right? Or charisma,
Dex.
or
that was dexterity. That was dexterity. You don't.
Sorry, I misheard.
That.
Yes, I apologize. I am a dumb bitch. I heard that was for the golem. His saves have been nuts, except for that slow.
His golem, dude.
All right, so he succeeds. This one is for Henson. He fails.
Good.
And the Quasit, I believe, dexterity, also fails.
Okay, so the Quasit and Henson are prone. They take full damage, and then the other thing only takes half damage.
God,
golem.
that is just such a awful place to be for enemies right now, dear God. And Ragnar, you actually feel water flooding into the crater.
I was
going to
say, I was definitely gonna make that point. I said, could we please make that terrain a little more difficult for that golem by filling that with water?
He's already slowed and in difficult terrain and locked up by Ragnar and Ancestral Spirits. He's... I'll say the
He's
most he
not
can move
good.
right now is 5 feet.
Good,
Maybe
good,
death
good,
grip
good.
him out of there.
I try to make sure he ain't going nowhere, because fuck that guy.
Given the conditions, yeah, no, 100%.
I was talking to Marty. I was like, "Yo, assuming that thing can only move 30 feet, it's gonna take him 3 turns to get out of Marty's square."
He's not locked. I'm not locked in there with him. He's locked in here with me.
That's right. It's just
goddamn
just a death pit now. Gonna drown him out. The Quasit is immediately evaporated. Or like, you actually watch as like Henson gets knocked prone on the spot and is like still gurgling and speaking gibberish. And the Quasit just like is too busy fixating on Trent and like looks over its shoulder as it just and gets swept off of its feet into the wash over here. Just going through the going through a bit of the merchant shop, the merchant stall that's over there, as you hear a bit of screaming, but doesn't seem like anybody was injured too much.
Fine, it's just water, bro. Come on,
Yeah.
calm down.
Washed away with the tide. And that was, okay, how much damage total?
That would have been 23 damage, and then
The golem
half of
takes
that
half,
to the
so
golem. Yeah.
12.
Additionally, so if he was on fire, it does remove the flame. Well, I don't remember if he was on fire or not.
He did not catch fire, but he did take extra
Okay.
damage from it.
Gotcha. So funny to me that the material component for that is just a drop of water.
It's beautiful. I love it.
It's raining.
I was gonna say it's raining and you have the canals here. Imagine a coastal druid.
Yeah, I was like,
And that
fuck,
was
bro.
23.
We're near the water. Fuck, bro. Dude, this is where we thrive.
Widowy.
I do
Yeah.
love how nearly every fight I've either had to make my own water or I've always fought near the water. It's been a good time.
Yeah, dude.
You've done good about your maps, at least having some
Dude,
H2O on the
I'm
bitch.
still,
I try to
I'm
vary my
still
maps, thank you.
thinking about that time when we were in the cart and you just lifted up the dirt and blocked that fucking attack, bro. That shit was fucking rad, bro.
That was really quick thinking and kept everybody from taking some damage.
Ugh.
Dude,
Big
this is
demon
fucking
punch.
earthbender bullshit.
like,
that
yeah,
was-
dude. I was like, oh my god.
There's a whole anime fight going on over there.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
But that is everything that Merge can do. So
Gotcha. You see the golem is starting to like slump over a little bit now. It's looking a little rough. You actually see Henson's form is almost his skin, now that you're seeing him like taking damage especially, it looks like it's bubbling and it is very grotesque looking. And you actually watch as this connects, it actually sweeps one of his legs off of the torso. It appears that whatever is going on with him is rapidly melting, decaying, deteriorating his form. He's looking bad. Ragnar, you are in the middle of the shit right now. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna punch that thing again twice.
Yeah!
Mount
Sorry, DM's meant to be indifferent.
Mount Claw!
I mean, yes, please, go ahead. Show me your attack rolls.
Whatever you want, player.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
Damn.
26 just hits.
Imagine.
Jesus.
Those are both my attack
22.
rolls.
Sorry, that's a hit.
Yes.
Actually cast
Yeah, no,
shield.
go ahead and show
I
me
am
damage.
literally going to attempt to rolling death cradle this large man.
Oh no. I just realized something as well. So when it brought all of its weight up into its arms and its upper body, that same wooden like bony sinew part in its like midsection was exposed again. So you've got if you're attempting to rolling death cradle, I will still call that for the sake of these unarmed strikes, these are bludgeoning damage. So go ahead and show me your damage rolls and then flavor it up for me. Or show me your damage rolls and then let's see how it's doing. $14 points of damage, alright.
What's up? I rolled both of my attacks there, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
16 and 14.
Oh, I didn't even see the 16, sorry. Yes, so 30 points of damage. Because its midsection was exposed, instead of being weak to slashing, it was weak to bludgeoning. So, that is a big 60 points of bludgeoning damage to this creature. How do you kill it?
Yeah, so I stand up above it, and I just kind of look at its whatever it has for eyes, and I lean in, and I'm like, "Let me show you something a Tabaxi war chief taught me."
Hell yeah.
Excuse me.
And I just start breaking bones.
You manage to get a grip on this thing, and when you do, like, you felt bones break before. You felt very heavy bones break before. This is a mass of wood that would normally be easier to break than, like, a large creature's bone, but it is reinforced by several smaller bones. And you feel
does
that.
Tech inputs?
It does not, surprisingly, actually. It failed the knowledge check twice. And that was enough. It was already below half.
And I'm just gonna giant swing it out of the pit.
Beautiful. So the rest of you, like, as this is going on, like, Ragnar, you feel like your muscles like grappling around the center of this thing, and once you realize that that's just a big, like, essentially like a structural pillar of this, you just flex and you feel a crack and you just grin as the hunger starts taking over, and everybody outside of the pit wouldn't be able to see anything but like the top half of this creature right now. And you hear a loud crack, like a tree being felled, as you watch the top half of it like sink a little bit. And then you just hear as the whole body is flung out of the pit and just cannonballs over into the canal over here. It is gone.
Hell yeah.
And you are left in the pit victorious. Well, against that anyway. What else? Is there anything else you would like to do? You still have, I believe, a bonus in your movement?
Oh, yeah, hold on. I still do have my movement. Yeah, I'll climb out of the pit. Then... What could barbs do for their bonus?
That's what I call a mosh pit.
Oh,
Fucking
hell
right.
yeah.
The Golem cereal bowl has been vacated.
Yep, and that's my turn.
All right. Winter, you just see this in front of you. You would just watch this creature get snapped in half, flung out of the pit, and you just see Ragnar crawl out. Like, the rain and water that was on him is just evaporating from how hot he's burning right now.
Oh, hey, buddy. I didn't think anything would crawl out of there. At least not conscious.
All right. And
Yeah.
we come to Art.
I just picture him walking out with that energy of, like, you should have seen the other guy. Like, after a fight.
All right, so I did the movement, and I'm going to use my full movement and a Blessing of the Raven Queen, and I can just get to this like space right here,
Like this corner by the side of the shop? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you arrive, and it's still kind of like slick from the tidal wave and the rain. You gotta kind of get your footing, but you are able to get there easy enough. And you see some of the merchants like just cowering under the counter, just like, please, make it stop.
What is this guy's name again?
Henson, and he looks
Henson.
very
so I would
mutilated
like
from
to
what
do
you're used to.
like
yeah.
a medicine check on him just to see what's kind of going on with him.
I would say you could give me medicine or even Arcana.
No, they're both the same. I don't think it matters. Yeah, I'm trying to specifically see what is causing this. Like, is it a poison? Is it a disease? Is it is it like a spell? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Yeah, go for it. Law of averages, there it was.
All of averages, yeah.
So, you've seen several things affecting people lately, and everything kind of like... While nothing has been quite the same, there are a lot of different pieces. People have been falling with a lot of different kinds of afflictions from different parts of the continent, it seems like. This is... I'm using this as artists putting everything together in this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So... It's not necessarily the exact same as the toxin that is used around Fell Harbor. It's not the same as what Professor Illiard was describing that affected him. But you're getting elements of every little bit of these things, and you're realizing in this moment everything that has been happening based on these horrible, terrible things that have been happening to people have all been based off of abyssal essence from demonic interference. You feel that toxin used in Fell Harbor has some sort of demonic essence to it. You feel that, or abyssal essence to it, demonic, abyssal, whatever you want to refer to it as.
Mm-hmm.
The way Professor Illiard described grabbing the shard and being the only one of his crew to make it out, carrying that shard, and what befell the king afterward, who could say, probably also has something to do with demonic essence, so you can't pinpoint exactly what it's coming from, necessarily. And you remember the people in robes that you saw in Shatterhold, and that you would have caught a glimpse of walking away from the party last session, as they were trying to acquire shards of Voldaris. You remember them mentioning at some point that they felt like they could make better use of them.
Okay.
And it feels like this man has fallen into the same trap of making into a deal with something that is much larger than him. And it seems like he's gone to that entity at this point. It seems like he has run out of his uses, so to speak. He has been, he's past his expiration date, and the entity no longer has need of him. Also, I didn't realize we switched over into just marketplace sounds. There we go.
Oh, you jump scared me with Biden ad.
Thanks, Adblock.
So but would you classify this as would you call it a poison? Would you call it or something like that?
With your medicine check being a natural 20, I will say this is not something from a poison. This is simply... This is mutilation. This is his body being purposely mutilated.
Is there anything I can
punishment.
do to stop this?
Again,
Can you purge him?
With a natural 20, the best thing you could do in his state, his skin is bubbling, his flesh is melting, his leg just got taken off by the tidal wave as though he were rotting meat. The best thing you could do is putting him down at this point. It would be a mercy.
Yeah, so ask God if he's ready for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna kneel down, and I'm just gonna see, what do I have here?
Send him back to the bayou.
I mean, I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm gonna
His
do
eye-
something.
His eyes are glazed over, but you see that they are like fixed on you at this point, and it looks like he's trying to say something, but he can't.
I'm trying to see how I want to do this.
He's also moving like he's trying to mouth something, but it's all in slow motion because of the slow spell as well.
Yeah.
Old dude's out here suffering in slow motion.
Yes.
I'm just gonna like kind of. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of put my hat over his head a little bit just to kind of cover it up, and I'm just gonna pull the trigger. And I'm just gonna say, I'm sorry.
I will say, normally against a prone target, ranged attacks would have disadvantage, but being point blank like this, I will say go ahead and you're within 5 feet. That's what matters. Go ahead and give me your attack rolls. As this entity is still attempting to do something for him. Yeah, that definitely hits. That also hits.
Okay.
Plus 10.
Yep.
Plus the fire damage, yeah.
So that is 25 points of damage.
You had 22 hit points left. How do you finish him?
Yeah, if you would let me, I would probably try and cast some sort of like just a cantrip like prestidigitation just to kind of like throw up some smoke so everyone doesn't have to like see everything. And then he at least has some privacy, I guess.
Yeah, the rain is coming down, but the wind isn't super heavy right now, so it wouldn't necessarily blow it away. You could definitely obscure the scene just a little bit for the sake of this.
Yeah. And then you shear 2 shots.
You actually hear a lot of the whimpering from behind the stall, like the stall behind you just fall silent as you see like heads peeking up to try to see what's happening, and they can't. And like you see the older looking one kind of like grab the other one, hug them and kind of try to comfort them and like take them back down behind the stall. Is there anything else you would like to do?
That's pretty much all I can do.
And as this is going on, no one else sees it in the moment, but you see like as everything starts slipping away, you watch the arm itself try to detach from its form, from its where it's like the skin is slowing off, and eventually it just kind of starts to fizzle as well, and you almost hear a small screech from it as it finally falls limp beside him. And you see his eyes finally, in his last moments of clarity, just do look up at you, and while he can't speak, there's blood running down the sides of his mouth. He does mouth up at you, thank you. Other than that, you still feel the compass in your pocket humming just a bit, and it is coming from the direction of the cart that exploded.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Is combat still? Yeah, there's still enemies.
Yes, there are still smaller creatures about. So we would go to Winter, I believe.
Well, does these boys go?
Where did their...
I think, like,
oh, I
everybody went
deleted...
before
Yeah,
me.
okay. They did go before you. You're correct. I deleted the one that had the turn order tied to it.
Something
I
else.
apologize. Yeah, okay. The closets. This one down here is going to vanish from sight. This one behind you, down here,
Don't want to 1v1 an ogre, coward.
is going to
Bobby,
see
leave me
everything.
alone.
Is going to see everything that's been going on and be like, this one's got the most on him. I'm just gonna dogpile, and it's gonna go up for a claw attack on you.
I hope you kill me.
As it also simply pings off, and now it looks worried at the situation it's in.
I'm just eyeing it.
Okay. Those were the only 2 of those left that are currently in existence. You actually watch as you actually start hearing screeching around you as well, as a lot of the enemies that are on the outskirts appear to be getting overwhelmed by goblins on the outside of the fight. A few goblins were also lost in the chaos, but nothing they wouldn't have done to each other given time, likely. Now we come to winter, because the imps were last. They were behind Trent.
Alright. I am cooking. By that, I'm gonna cast Blood Boil.
Okay.
Alright. Now, Blood Boil doesn't have a cap on number. It just says any number of creatures of my choice within 20 feet.
Okay.
It is not useful against undead, elementals, constructs, or creatures without blood. I assume imps in the closet aren't
These
one of
creatures
those?
are fiendish, and they do have blood.
Okay. Alright, well, they are all going to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. Understood.
Let me
You said
check.
all within 20 feet?
Yeah.
So that would
I can
catch
choose
the
them.
4 that are left, yeah.
Yeah, I can choose, but yeah, so I wouldn't. Yeah, let's be all 4. And then,
So those 4 and Ragnar. Perfect.
I mean, no. Next
Let's
time.
see. Next time, of course.
That's
Alright, so-
13 for the check.
Alright.
No, wait, charisma. 14.
14 for the save? Okay. This is just going to be for each imp, respectively. They're all
This
plus
is a
1.
bonus action.
Yeah. DC was 14, only the middle one saves. So this one down by the fountain saves, like the
Okay.
one behind you. What is the effect? Also, I have to do quasi,
and-
sorry.
Well, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. They all take. Let's go back into it.
Oh, and
They
also
all take
does not save.
3d6 fire damage.
Go ahead and
and
roll me
half on
3d6
save.
fire damage then.
Yeah.
Check something real quick. Six. You see the closet actually looks like it's not quite as affected by the fire damage going on, but you do see like it kind of like belch out a little bit of flame for a second, like not expecting it, and almost drop to a knee for a second with what looks like some pretty severe heartburn. 8 points to that one, understood, and that one. So these 2 take 8. This one saved, so he takes 4. They are all looking pretty rough, very rough, and very panicked at this moment.
Now I'm gonna slash him. Closet first.
Perfect, go for it. Show me your attack roll.
Amazing.
12. It actually just misses.
All right, we'll do it again.
22 also just misses. Sorry. Now go ahead and show me your damage. Yeah, how do you kill it? It is gone.
What is a closet? Like shape?
Small lizard-esque humanoid with big black beady eyes, spines and horns coming out of the back of its head.
Yeah, I just chop its head off. Just another day for winter.
It just kind of lands next to you, Trent.
Like, he started it.
That's gross. Oh god.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to do?
That's it.
All right. Trent, I believe you also went before the imps, so you are up.
Well, Chad, Trent is going to. I knew what I wanted to do. I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on this imp in front of me.
Okay. Nice, nice. Dexterity save, correct?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Oh, it. Actually, that's bonus action.
He fails.
Because Trent just kind of like sees the imp kind of hit the ground next to him. He's like, "Oh God!" And then he looks over at that imp. He's like, "You want to end up like that guy?" And then a fucking moonbeam from the sky just comes out and smacks him.
Jesus.
It is a 1d8. We're level 5, right?
6.
Okay, so this is 2d8s.
Cantrip scaling.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, minimum damage would kill it. It is at 2 HP.
Okay.
But you can go ahead and roll
so-
me damage if you would like. It's up to you.
Yeah. 2d8 magic.
We do like rolling damage.
That's
Yeah,
right.
dude.
We love
Just to see how
rolling
severe
dice.
it is.
I like to imagine it just gets fucking turned to dust. Just fucking Thanos snapped out of existence from the fucking light from the sky. Just ash.
Swept in with the rain, just like the rest of them so far. All right. Anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, you know what? Who's going next on the turn order? Looks like Ragnar? No, Marge.
Urge.
Just gonna, play a little jaunty tune, and inspire the Marge and the crab.
Hell yeah.
Enough.
And that'll be my turn, yeah.
Alrighty. These two, seeing the situation they are in, are going to try to get the hell out of Dodge. Both of them are going to fly off in this direction, which would provoke
I
opportunity
swing.
attack. I was gonna say, which would provoke opportunity attacks from
swing.
Ragnar in winter. So should they
I
so
get the
choose?
bottom one. Because he's saved.
Ragnar, are you
My
swinging
ability.
as well?
Sorry, say that again. I zoned out.
You're good. These two imps were leaving your and Winter's ranges respectively. Would you like to use an opportunity attack?
Yes.
Gotcha. Go ahead and show me your attack rolls then, boys. Definitely hits.
Hell yeah. 9 points of damage.
He did.
Because
What's wrong with you? I
they
tell
have
you, he
10
did.
health. They have 10 max health, don't they?
Wait, so do I just roll damage? Like it's just gonna hit, guaranteed?
No,
Oh,
you do still have to
gotta
roll to
roll.
hit. They are weak. They are vastly outnumbered now in the current situation, and they are trying to leave.
That one's on fire.
Yeah, my claw!
Yeah, no. You guys each would absolutely obliterate these respectively. How do you each kill your respective targets?
I just crush my head.
Just grab it as it
Try-
tries to
tries
fly
to get-
away.
Like Omni Man, that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Swimsh.
bro. Poor thing.
I just
You're a
blocked with
gnat.
the flat side of the sword. Toss it.
I just look at your mother like a pet.
bat.
You kind of like knock it to where you're like, I'm not sure if I killed it or not with that actually, with the blunt side of it, and it falls and like cracks its head on the side of the fountain and starts bleeding in the fountain. And you're just like, yeah, okay, it's gone. It's good. And with that, with a couple of goblin casualties, that is the end of combat.
And Henry just walks up, like chewing on an imp that he found.
Of course. No, so upon a lot of the commotion dying down, you do still hear a bit of screaming coming from the outer edges of the city, or like a bit further away. But upon gazing around, you do notice some of the robed figures with masks, the dragon scale mask, the dragon shadow, the guard that was roaming around Autumn's Bounty, and some bits of opulence are also doing their part around the rest of the city, it appears, to clean up the rest. And one of them actually does approach from the south, like from around this area down here. And you see them kind of looking at you, and they're just like, "Oi, is everybody okay up there?" Wait. And like as they say wait, you see they like stop for a second, and you see they actually have elven ears kind of like poking up from the sides of their hood. You see they twitch for just a moment. You see they stick their left foot out, and you hear a "bah!" as the Quasit that disappeared from in front of New trips and falls on its face. They just kind of walk up behind it and step on its head, squish it into the ground.
Yeah, Mount fucking Claw.
Oh my god.
Tricky buggers. I didn't see your name on it. Mount Claw, you said.
I'll have you know that our name is on all of them.
You can have the responsibility of cleaning up the rest of Opulence then if you'd like.
Well, I mean, I suppose someone ought to.
Yeah, we're working on it. Don't worry about it. Appreciate what you've done. What happened with the gentleman that was running the tailoring cart up there? Why does it seem so mangled?
He had a bad customer.
I see. Well, one of you, those bad customers.
No.
Just
Very convincing.
right place at the wrong time kind of deal. Yeah.
Would you say Mount Claw has its fair share of poor timing?
Mount Claw, yeah.
Where did Ragnar throw the thing?
Into the river, I thought. Out of the
Okay,
pit.
So there's nothing to show him. Alright. Just making sure.
You see the guard actually kind of like steps up toward where New's at right now, and like as she starts to get close, kind of like turns and like hears your voice and looks at you, Trent. Why do you look familiar?
Oh, I've been around. Everywhere, really.
It seems most
not
of you are
really.
well traveled, but you look. I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah. It's Shatterhold. We're adventurers from there. We've been around. You know, word gets out. You know, that's probably where you know me.
Are you familiar with the tribe of Estel?
Yeah. What? Why? Why do you ask?
Just
At this point, March kind of walks over just to make sure Trent's okay. So, someone hassling you, Trent?
I don't know. It's okay. I just trying to get all the information. That's all.
yes, not hassling. I mean no harm. I apologize if I'm coming off as hostile. I just thought I recognized you from somewhere is all. I'm going to help the rest of the guard clean up the city. For the sake of this right now, the rain will wash away a lot of the blood and gore here, but we'll handle the cleanup of the more gory bits and details. As for the cart, she kind of like looks at you, Trent, looks back at the cart. Just saying, appreciate what you guys have done here today. Saves us a lot of trouble. If anything goes missing from that cart, I wasn't here. She goes running off in the other direction.
Wait, is there important stuff in the cart? Go look.
Booty.
I look over at Art. You think he'd be okay if we looked at his stuff?
Did you get
I
to
don't
save the
think
guy?
it's gonna matter too much. I don't think he's gonna care too much.
Well, you know, I'm just trying to be respectful. I know he's kind of.
Yeah. So I would like to just like make the note that Art does the thing where like he kind of closes his eyes for him, if they aren't already.
What's physically left of them? Yeah.
It was what's physically left, and then he would probably follow that kind of like the compass kind of thing all the way to the cart and see what it's pointing at specifically.
It does appear to be pointing at a very specific part by essentially behind like the driver's area of the cart. And upon inspection, like dig through some of the rubble, you do find a trunk that was left in the back, and there appears to be strapped to the side of it. There is a heavy journal that appears to be bound with leather straps, and it seems to be pointing. It's more specifically pointing to the trunk, but the journal also appears to be of interest, like it's part of it.
Okay. I guess I grab it. I pick it up and look at it.
Are you picking up the trunk or are you picking up the book?
The book.
Okay.
First.
It's easy enough to open the straps on the side. But upon pouring through, it's kind of similar to the one that you found from the Goblin Camp, where it appears to be a ledger, but also there are some extra notes like scrolled in. You actually notice a few weeks back, noting your purchase and the name Mount Claw in a parentheses next to it. But then some of the more recent ones are a bit more. The handwriting seems a bit jankier, and it seems like it's more tame, more calm, less. It started out as he sounded very excited to be having a very simple job in Bimbleshire as a tailor. Moving up to, what if I had more? What if I could, make a life for myself in opulence amongst the nobles and aristocrats, like making fine robes for them. And then he goes on to talk about how, upon getting to opulence, everything looks beautiful on the surface, but everything here's a mess. And he mentions, seeing the orphans in the streets, seeing like the merchants that can't afford their children, throwing them out into the street or selling them off to pay debts. The seedy underbelly that doesn't want to rear its ugly head here, that people seem to try to keep under wraps and don't pay attention to as much because it would tarnish the reputation. There's a particularly longer entry toward the back that catches your eye that I can actually DM you later.
Sure.
Other than that, your compass is still pointing toward the trunk. And I will say, as for everyone else, Trent being toward where Art was, I would say you would notice on the body most of his clothes are pretty torn and tattered up at this point, but you notice that it looks like the robe that he was wearing actually has a sort of like shimmer to it, and you watch as the shimmering effect fades, and where it once looked like a robe, it now appears to be a very ornate set of studded leather armor with an enchantment on it. And the sword he was using also appears to be undamaged, as well as his gloves. Seems like this man got around. If any of that is of interest.
I'm sorry, who saw that?
That was Trent, since he was the last one left by the body.
Is anyone interested in these things over here? I mean, I'm pretty good.
If it's studded leather armor, I mean, I'd be interested in it for sure.
Trent just kind of like punches himself in the chest, just fucking tapping on the scale mail. He's like, I think I'm fine. Yeah.
If I look at it, I tell like if it's any different, or what's different about it.
As far as like what the enchantment would do, or
Anything about it.
Without proper, like, a rest time, like a rest's worth of time to check it out, or the identify spell, unless you have the identify spell at the ready, which I don't remember if you do or not. I apologize. But,
I
the
don't
most,
remember if I do.
I would say the
No, I
most you
don't.
can tell at a glance is it looks very much more ornately crafted, and it definitely has, it looks more expensive. It's got some like extra filigrees and inlays that you can see kind of pulsing with arcane energy.
I mean, I'll take it.
Right. So you can add. Let me find the exact name here. You can add glamored studded leather to your inventory. And then as far as the other items that are undamaged goes, it appears to be a set of gloves with like metal tips that cover like the folding bits of your fingers and the tips of the fingers that kind of curl over. And the short sword that he was using that was forked at the end.
All right, got it. But yeah, definitely going back to the trunk.
Going back to that, if you open that up, you see just a lot of it is just fabric, crafting material. There are a few tailor's kits as well, so like tools for tailoring. It seems like this is also where he kept his savings, and you guys invested only a little bit into this guy. It seemed like he didn't have a ton of money at the start. There's a very heavy leather sack tucked away to the side under some of the fabric upon digging as well. And the compass actually appears to be pointing toward that sack in particular.
I take a look inside the sack.
Upon looking inside, you would notice, I would say, 3 things. You notice a very heavy amount of gold coins and jewels of assorted varieties. You would notice a felt that was a felt slash fiber that is similar to, at a glance, kind of looks like the material that was on his arm, but also seems inert at the moment. And it seems like it's almost, if you run your finger over it, it seems like it's almost moving just ever so slightly. And almost like as you run your fingers across it, it tries to... It's almost like it's naturally attracted to your hand. It doesn't stick to you, but it's kind of like how a sunflower would like naturally turn towards sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this material is naturally turning towards your presence, like your physical touch. And upon like dragging your finger over that, you actually hear the clinking of a small vial with this familiar black liquid and a stopper.
Gotcha.
Clink out onto the gold coins that are in there as well.
Well,
And
I
the
take
compass
that part.
I was going to say, the compass appears to be pointing to that, and then it calms down once it's in your possession. And then the needle starts kind of wobbling as though it doesn't quite know where to look. Then it points northeast, more east than north.
Interesting. And then what was the other thing? Sorry, it was like the cloth.
The
What
rest,
was it exactly?
aside from the
what would you
cloth,
call it? I know there's like gold coins and stuff too.
yeah, I was going to say, there's a wealth of gold coins and jewels. There is the cloth that appears to be attracted to, like, your touch as you run your fingers over it. And there are a couple of other things in the cart that appear like they weren't damaged by the explosion, so they may also have an inherent enchantment. A lot of it looks like very simple stuff, and some of it you remember from your first encounter with them as well. It looks like some of the stuff was sold or is not currently here. But you do recognize a scarf that has little, almost like a tribe of hunters sewn into the side of it, and like a large encampment, essentially, like almost like in the form of a tapestry woven into the side of the scarf.
Well,
that appears to be the
everyone
main
wants
thing.
to come go through this, looks like some stuff you guys might be interested in. And then I'm going to take the cloth and keep that with me because I want to figure out what that is.
Yeah,
If anyone else can use it, specifically, I'll give it to them. But, and then I'm going to go over to Ragnar, like, because they had this like metal, like, what do you call them? Metal gloves or like metal like
Yes, his body still had very ornate looking and well carved gloves that seemed to be like they seemed like they were mostly fabric where it would like actually go over your hand.
Fabric, okay.
But it was it did have metal like finger guards over the edges, almost like it's almost like full finger thimbles for sewing. If I could describe it a bit more, I guess, accurately.
Well, I'm
But
going
it
to
folds
hold
on
on
the
to it
joints.
just until I can figure out what it is.
Okay.
And then kind of like see who would probably benefit the most from it.
You can go ahead and add if you need me to spell it, I can, but you can go ahead and add Dim's Thimbles to your inventory. And in parentheses, gloves, if that helps. Is anybody doing anything with the sword that was left there?
I'm sorry.
It was the one on Henson's person that he pulled out and spoke a command word to throw it from essentially like a small seam ripper tool into a short sword.
I'm good.
I mean, I'll
Okay.
pick it up. Just sell it later. Don't really need a sword. Ragnar, do you need a weapon? Or are you about to get yours fixed?
Ragnar
I mean,
actually.
you seem to be a weapon,
Crushing
but-
things. Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. You know what? Good asked. I will grab the sword.
Okay, Winter, you can add the seam ripper short sword to your inventory. And then, Art, did you take the scarf out of the back of the cart as well?
I did not take the scarf, no.
Okay, the scarf will remain back there then.
Seam Ripper?
Seam, S-E-A-M.
Did anybody want the scarf here, or? Brent, I feel like you could rock a scarf.
Just looks well made and undamaged.
Put on the crab.
Put it
Just
on
one
the
of the
crab.
legs.
Crab gang.
Does anybody want it?
Crab scarf?
What do
Crab
those-
scarf.
We don't know what it does, but
It does
What do
appear to
we
have
for?
an inherent enchantment placed on it.
I suppose I'll take it and study it, and we'll see what it does. Is it a crab-sized scarf? I don't understand what you mean.
It's larger
So
and it
what
could
is
be
it
like folded a couple of times, but to get it all the way around the crab like lengthwise would probably be pretty difficult. You might be able to like get it around one of the legs
I'll
or like
sew
one
a
of the
bit more
arms.
to it, don't worry.
I cast
Yes.
enhance on the scarf.
Are
No.
you enlarging it? I was gonna say. Love that. Then it goes to reduce and it just crushes the crab like a tin can.
Oof.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, for the sake of this, I will say, I'll just go ahead and ask for the sake of this, is there anything else you guys would like to do while you are in Opulence? Because if not, then we've already kind of gone over a little bit this session. Next session will be, like, full length, like normal. Is there anything else anybody would like to wrap up here before we move on to Eminence? Because you guys are very close now.
If I wanted to like send a letter somewhere, how does that work?
I would
it
say
like
there'd be
a
like
person brings it, a bird sends it, you portal it.
depends on the service
What
you're
do
using.
you do?
There are definitely people that can send messages via like sending spells, though it may be more expensive. There are people that can send them via, various animals or through different magical means. There are actual on-foot courier services. Like, it just depends on what you find. But there are definitely options here available in Opulence.
Does anybody got some gold? I want to send a letter. I spent it all on the beer. Basically, so I will find somewhere to send a letter. I think not courier. I mean, everywhere we go, we fight demons and stuff. So I don't trust that.
Fair enough. Also, I will say, for the sake of that as well, Art, if you were to take a second to glance over the bag that you found of the man's belongings, there's roughly 850 gold pieces in that sack. You guys made an investment.
That's true.
At what cost?
Until we killed him.
Well, can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, Jack.
Yeah,
I didn't
you-
want an omelet, so I wanted a goddamn toast. I just
can
wanted
DM you.
toast.
That's too damn bad.
Yeah, I can DM you what the letter would say and to who, if you want.
Sure.
Or I mean, I want to send a letter to the captain of the guard at Shatterhold. Because
Okay,
he
gotcha.
kind of do be walking around with a shard of Voldaris in his weapon. He doesn't know it.
Fair enough.
I don't think we're going there anytime soon.
I was gonna say, for the sake of this, I will say, we can DM about that, and that can be done in like a short interim before you guys move on.
Yeah.
I'll say, if you guys like, you're more than welcome to stay here and rest for another day if you want, or if you want to, would you like to just move straight on?
I mean, if you guys really think we need the rest, we can. But
I'm good.
I'm pretty good. I still got a level 3 spell slot.
Yeah, I don't.
That's all I used this combat was a level
Maybe if
3.
we like short rest in the travel or something, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm fine. I just took 20 damage.
I'll get all
Would have
my
been 10, but
get all of my inspiration back on a short rest now. So like just one short rest somewhere along the line, and we're good.
Okay, so, probably taking a short rest before you guys move out. Winter is wanting to send a letter, and you guys are moving straight on for next session. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, just so I have everything like in order and ready, and I don't like drag this out for too terribly long. I will say, for the sake of this, if you guys are going to be short resting, I can go ahead and tell you what your new toys do, your magical items do, because you can examine those during a short rest.
Yes.
Whoever has the scarf, whomstever
yeah,
ends up with the scarf, Marge.
probably.
You can write that down as the Nomad Scarf. And upon speaking the command word, which I will let you choose, because I think that's more fun, as you are the new owner, you are able to set up a 20 by 20 foot tent with bedrolls and a fire pit and cooking pot as it unfolds out into that setting.
Oh, nice. Oh,
So, more of a convenience thing. Probably what he used before he had his own cart.
okay.
Winter. The Seam Ripper sword. Which I believe you are holding on to, correct?
yeah.
Okay. It is, for all intents and purposes, it is a +1 short sword. Also, as you're holding it, it does shrink down into like a regular tailoring seam ripper, just like a tiny tool that they would use to, like I said, heal up threads if they put them in the wrong place. It is a +1 short sword. The sewing tool takes the form of its tiny namesake until the command word is spoken, extending it into a short sword. On a hit, the target must make a strength save or be disarmed of one item it is holding.
That's sick. That's so good.
So it is a sword that has the potential to disarm someone,
That's so
more or less.
useful.
And it can be toned down into a smaller tool as well for sewing.
Oh man, if Xavier had that, holy shit.
Who
Should I
had
multiclass
the?
rogue now?
I mean, there you go. Art, I believe you had the Dim's Thimble gloves.
Yes.
Yeah, Dim's Thimbles. The wearer of these light finger guards gains proficiency with tailor's tools, and gains proficiency in sleight of hand checks. If already proficient in sleight of hand, they gain expertise, as well as access to the mending cantrip.
I don't know how well these people know this stuff.
This man was invested in his career.
I'm just gonna pull like
And I will be putting these in the unique items channel later as well, so don't fret if you're not able to write everything down right now.
Okay.
What else was there?
The studded armor.
Yes, the
glamour.
glamored studded leather.
Studded leather, yes.
I have that here. While wearing this armor, you gain a +1 bonus to AC, so it is +1 studded leather. You can also use a bonus action to speak its command word and cause the armor to assume the appearance of a normal set of clothing or some other kind of armor. That's how he was using it to appear in fine robes. You decide what it looks like, including color, style, and accessories, but it retains its normal bulk and weight. The illusory appearance lasts until you use the property again or remove the armor. So it is effectively +1 studded leather that you can make look like whatever you want in terms of like
Nice.
reason. Keeps the same like bulk and weight, but the same general size.
Then the cloth.
The cloth I will leave to you to figure out a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, I'll DM you more about the journal stuff as well, as
Gotcha.
you'll have read through that on a. Actually, I'll let you decide since the party has made it clear that they're going to be short resting. Would you read it aloud to everyone, or would you keep it would you read it to yourself first and then share?
I think
it
I'm just
potentially?
reading it to myself first. Not like I'm trying to keep anything from anybody. It's just
Right.
like my natural inclination.
Okay. All right, then yeah, I will DM you that, and you can keep that to yourself or share that if you wish.
Okie dokie.
All right. Is there anything else anybody would like to wrap up before we end here?
I think that's it.
No, nothing from me.
And like I said,
Sweet.
the party did gain 850 gold pieces essentially. So
Yeah.
maybe that as you wish. And a small vial for Mr. LeBlanc as well. Okay, if that's the case, we will aim for 2 weeks from now for the next session, like our normal bi-weekly setup. So that'll be the 24th, not 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. Do March 24th. Or no, sorry, Eileen has PAX March 24th, I believe. Correct?
Yep.
Gotcha.
I will not.
So if that is the case, I guess I'll go ahead and ask: would anybody not be able to do Easter? Because that's the next available.
I don't really do anything on Easter.
I don't really do anything myself
free.
either. Right?
Yeah, I
mean, I
work
do
on
stuff, but
Easter,
not at night.
Yeah. Like I work
I
on
don't
Easter,
see.
but
I don't have a problem.
it's early in the morning, so like it's whatever.
If everybody's okay with it, then yeah. I mean, we could just do. Eileen, do you do anything for Easter?
Nope.
Then yeah, we'll aim for March 31st. We'll have a 2-week break, and then we'll be back the next week.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
Yep, and
Hell yeah, bro.
we'll aim to start around 6 o'clock. I know, Dan, you work, but if we have to push it back later, we can. Not a big deal. We'll try to end around. We'll try to cap sessions around 10 p.m. I know that's better for most people now. Ending a little bit earlier is good. So we will do our best to do that. I'm sorry this one ran over just a little bit.
All good.
How dare you?
I know. I dare I? But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm going to give a little outro and find someone to raid out to. I appreciate you guys. GG's.
Yep. GG's, guys.
And
Hey,
thank you again
GGs.
for being patient with me on trying to get scheduling sorted, because that has been difficult, and I'm doing my best.
You're doing your part for damn sure.
Appreciate. All right,
Right.
I'll be right back.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Dude,
But yeah, no. Like I said, thank you guys all so much for hanging out as well. I appreciate you guys watching and joining us for our misadventures. I will see if I can find someone else who is playing D&D to raid out to, because we like nerd games. We like some TTRPG. So let's see what we can find, shall we? Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, we'll go ahead and send you guys over to Blue Dalek here because they look like they have a nice little setup going. I can appreciate it. Let me get the raid ready. Please go show them some support. And I will be back tomorrow night, actually, with Final Fantasy VIII. We're going to be starting that on the stream, so I'm excited as we continue rolling through the Final Fantasy series after our short break doing Paper Mario. You know, y'all take it easy. Appreciate you. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day next week. And hopefully I'll see y'all soon.